What do you think was the worst moment of the Trump presidency? The combination of what was his worst moment that you then go on air to try to make sense, kind of for people. What would you say was kind of like relaying to the audience, like, this is some terrible shit?
That is an all-you-can-eat buffet. I'm going to name several just off the top of my head without being, and then maybe one of them will rise to the top here. I would say finding out that he had won the election on election night in 2016 was pretty terrible. We were live. There was no getting the camera off me. It was on Showtime. There was no commercial breaks. The camera was just on me. There was no escaping my emotional reaction in that moment. And I had a monologue at the end of the show, and I ended up throwing almost the entire thing away and just improvising. So improvising isn't quite the word, just speaking from the heart for the last 10 minutes of the show, and eventually finding my way to what the comedic premise at the end was. And that was a terrifying moment to be part of. But I also knew that there was nothing to do other than just feel it, because what else are you going to do as an artist but just feel it back at the audience? And the unsung hero of that moment, the MVP, was my longtime prompter operator, Michelle Decker. She followed me on the prompter, seeing if there was any point at which I was going to dip back into the script. And she was sliding up and down, and she seamlessly knew where I was going. She seemed to somehow sense, without ever talking about what part of the script I might keep, and was always there. She could feel where it was. And that's an interesting dance that people never get to see. But I know that everybody who does this has to have an intimate relationship with that person if they're ever going to go off script.